You misheard what I'm
rtfc.baconicecream.com.
What is going on, everyone? It's Rich Haywood here from Bacon Ice Cream Productions, Team RTFC. Welcome you to the Evercast, your weekly dose of Evercade goodness. Of course, here, ready to rock. We've got all sorts of cool peeps. We've got Ed, Richard KillDashNine. What's going on?
What's up?
We've got Pete, the EverCanadian. What's going on?
I'm back.
Yes, you are back. Hopefully feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, a little bit.
Crazy times. But I also joined the Crazy Times fray. I've been out all week, not under the weather myself. Starting to get up on that upswing, so that's good. It'll be awesome. Of course, we have Crow.
Yep.
What's going on?
I was tempted just to hit a different button just for a change, but then I went back and hit the button I usually do.
All right.
So let's see if this works. I apologize if there's sound that comes through. I think I fixed the issue.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Well,
How can you still have problems with that device? You've been playing around with these bytes for years.
It's because I have because I updated Windows. Windows changes all the settings because I have the input. I think I heard it again, so it's not worked. It's not fixed.
You're a fiddler.
Because Windows insists on updating. I reboot, and then Windows changes all the recording levels in the system. It puts everything at max again.
Ooh,
oh man,
my Windows update don't do that.
that's wild.
Could be the driver.
So, so Crow, how was your week, man?
How was my week?
Yeah.
It's fine. Why?
Yeah. Anything happen lately? Life? Yesterday, maybe?
Is there something that happened to me that I'm unaware of?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe something that happens
birthday
every
again?
year. Maybe, perhaps.
Was it your birthday again?
It probably was.
Yeah. those darn things come around.
They
once a
kind
year.
of do. They just kind of.
I celebrate 3 birthdays a year, so that's what I do.
I try to celebrate it once every 5 years.
Once every 5. Really?
Why 5?
Oh, I can say I'm a younger age than I actually am.
Oh, well, that's all right. That's fair enough.
That makes sense.
Did you celebrate this time around?
No.
No. Okay.
only on the half decades.
On the half decade. Okay. All right. Well, there we go. Well,
Oh, wait a minute. Actually, no, that's not. It can't be true because it would have been a half decade. Oh, maybe I just forgot.
all right. Well, I happen to notice those things, surfing around the social medias. So hopefully it was a great day.
It was fine.
It was fine. Awesome.
I bought a new pair of shoes.
Well, that's a thing. It's a thing to do.
This isn't the shoe cast, so
No, it is not the shoe cast.
Okay.
Were they cool shoes though?
oh yeah.
Like they have a cool design.
Well, yeah, here. These are shoes I bought.
Nice.
He just slips it out.
Yeah, that's good.
I like how they say Goodyear.
That's interesting. Does Goodyear make shoes now? They just use the rubber and the soles?
Yeah, it's the rubber from Goodyear tires.
Huh.
But they're not Goodyear shoes, they're Skechers.
Oh, got it. That's cool though. It's an interesting bit of cross promotion. I never thought would happen, but it kind of makes sense, right?
Well, yeah, but the fun is I was in the store and I'm like, man, the sole of these don't feel plasticky at all. I gotta go with something with tires on the bottom of the shoes.
Huh. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Fun fact though, you happen to share a milestone day with my grandma.
It's funny because throughout my life, there's always been somebody else that happened to have the same birthday I did. One of my friends from high school, turned out his birthday was the same day as mine.
Huh, that's cool.
Somewhere else, it always seemed to happen that way. But but it was also Veterans Day yesterday.
Yes.
So
That's right.
I got double for that.
Ooh.
So
Yes.
any place that I had birthday or veteran stuff happen, I got free stuff all over the place.
That's pretty good. That's a good time. And also, it is good that people around in the States do recognize that kind of thing, because it is.
Oh, you say that, but I still have to use a vacation day to take that day off because it's not a company holiday.
That's rough. that's rough. That's definitely.
What's on your shirt?
That's a rough
It's
time.
like Rick and Morty type art style.
It's the Sex Pistols.
Huh.
From JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Got it. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
Or in the English dub, I think it's the Six Pistols.
Oh.
Because they get rid of all the music references.
Oh, got it.
Oh.
Yeah, because I guess they don't want to get somebody get mad at them or something.
Yeah, it's very bizarre with the name. Some of the name changes they do in that show.
That's funny. That's funny times. So, so as we get into everyone else's week, I also want to just jump in and chat real quick because it's hopping again already. Got 33 people in here. That's awesome. So let's go ahead and round the chat here and say hi to people. We got Lloyd R. Jim. We got Chris Sheridan. We got Ballistic Coffee Boy. We got Nick the Toy Collector. We got RMGB TV. Oh, man. Hope you're feeling better, man. We got John in the house. We got Jason in the house. We got Robert in the house. What else we got here? DJ is in the house. Skeletrex is in the house. What's going on? Rob Taylor. Phantom Fiction. Douglas is here. Jason South is here. Hey, Ian. What's going on? Ian's up in here. And who else we got? Dan Nastik's here. What's going on? Damn Gam. And I think Poor Man's Retro Great Game Room tossing out the happy birthday. Dreadpool. What's going on, man? What's going on? Good to see you. And Sirens is here. Kyle is here. What's going on? Chippewa Chris's Man Corner. Hello. Welcome on in. And I think we've caught up there. I'm going to go back in the chat because people are starting to ask questions and stuff already. So I'm going to start looking around while everyone else. How was everybody else's week?
Busy. busy work-wise.
Oh, come on.
Get any chance to get in some game time there?
Yes. Cathedral. Oh my god.
Yeah. We've been talking about that.
Yes.
That it seems to be the hot one around here and around the Evercade community. Lots of people have been chatting about Cathedral, and I'm sure we're going to be talking a little bit more about that in just a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And
all a little bit too. I mean, it's switch back and forth, but there's something about Cathedral. And I'll even go on a limb here saying that it might just be the best game released in Evercade so far.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's for those certainly that are looking for some good, the Metroidvania action. I think people will be quite pleasantly surprised, and that from what I've been hearing, because I'm actually still staring at my sealed C64 and always Cathedral right now. So it will get open though. I this weekend it'll get open. Well, I'll probably start playing tomorrow.
I still don't have it, so.
Oh man!
But it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter.
Oh yeah, you have always in the Cathedral now.
Well, yeah. I'd actually be on. I still do, I'm not even up to the Commodore 64 collection. I still need to do Galco collection, but I recently just finished Jalico Arcade 1, so I'm moving on.
Nice. Very cool. Very, very cool. What's going on there, Pete? I know you've been.
I've just been sick, actually working, trying to figure out if I love or hate the C64 collection. It's been a rough ride so far. But no, just been kind of just trying to get better, and I've got the sexiest voice on YouTube right now, just in my videos. It's been pretty interesting. Try to not cough for 8 minutes or 10 minutes. because I only do one take.
Well, you could just edit it out. Like
I don't do editing.
I mean,
because like for you, YouTube is supposed to be fun for me and no time, like just
right.
And I'm pretty good at doing one edits, and so it's been fun.
It's so funny because like the editing is
you're frozen.
The most fun part. Yeah, well, do I appear frozen for everybody else? Because to me, it looks like I'm fine.
No,
you went behind the brick wall, and then it's just now you're.
Oh, I didn't even see the brick wall, so I didn't think that worked.
Yeah, no, it's been like I said, 4 weeks of just trying to get better. I am pretty happy though that I got not Evercade related, but I finally got some stuff for my Polymega, which has been really fun. Just being able to get my collection set up on that, which has been really cool. So,
did you get like, modules sent in or something?
What's that?
Did you get new modules or?
Yeah, I got my NES, Genesis, and Super Nintendo one.
Nice.
Ooh,
that's very good news.
So right now
I'm looking for modules.
Almost 1,500 games to install.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool because it's so fast so far. Like, but yeah, it's been. And you know what's really cool? Anyway, I don't want to talk about it too much here because this is Evercade. But the fact that a lot of the games have built-in cheat codes. So you go to the cheat menu, you can do Game Genies, Game Shark, and then it has the existing ones that are built into the system, which is pretty cool.
Nice. That's doing
a lot. I've been playing Evercade a lot while I've been sick. So and one clue which game I've been playing a shite ton of. You know, the monster game on C64.
Oh, the monster game on C64.
You know which game I actually liked more was Crush, Crumble, and Chomp. But again, that was just because I played that when I was younger.
Okay, I have a question. Nice. On the C64, you know that tank game?
Yeah.
Is it just me or the controls make no sense on that? Sometimes it in B flips your tank around. Sometimes pressing up when you're trying to shoot up turns your tank around. It's completely messed up.
I'm not a fan of that game. I'll be honest.
But it's a fun game it's a fun game, I think, just for shooter and action and stuff, but the controls make it miserable. Anyway, maybe it's just me. Maybe I just
Am I still frozen?
No, you're good. No, you're good.
Oh, okay. I had no idea because it never changed on my screen.
Ballistic Coffee Boy, Moon Patrol. Man, I can't wait for that collection. Right?
Yeah.
One of my favorite arcade games of all time is going to be on. It's going to be a while. Yeah.
And that's not too. Again, it's not too far away.
Almost a month, right?
Push. Yeah, it's like a month, 2 days now.
And I do apologize if I cough while I'm talking. I'm not trying to do that.
I mean, it's all good. I'm
good,
going to
be doing happy to have you here.
And I don't have a mute button. Well, I mean, I do, but
yeah,
I'm trying to control like all the other stuff that's going on.
Isn't that funny? All of us probably do Zoom meetings and stuff like that. How, as a human species, have we all not been able to master the mute button yet? Yeah, no matter what device we're on, it feels like I'm always, I'm sorry, I'm on mute, or I'm off mute, or anyway.
Yeah, I think it's just people forget that is a thing that they either did or got done.
Did you say we're on Zoom?
Extreme.
And in other news, it's the day after Remembrance Day or Veterans Day in the U.S. So I'm putting my Christmas tree up today with the kids. So I'm super excited about that.
Oh, that's cool. That's your like kind of thing.
Yes.
Like once you get past the 11th,
I convinced my wife a few years ago to let me do it. Usually, it used to be American Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But I convinced her that the day after Remembrance Day is the respectful time to do it. If I had my way, my tree would be up in September.
Well, if I had my way, the tree would be up on December 1st.
Yeah,
1 month
too.
per holiday.
When
we
do
always
you
wind up
up?
putting it Thanksgiving evening or the next day.
Yeah.
I always like, because a chunk of my family are American, so I like Thanksgiving, U.S. Thanksgiving. I get to celebrate 2 of them because I just honorary American. I'll celebrate the U.S. Thanksgiving whether I'm in the U.S. or not.
That's cool.
Plus football, right, Rich?
Yeah, man.
And how about those Jets?
That's right. Oh man,
and my Seahawks.
I cannot believe
what is happening
right now.
But Rich, my Seahawks play tomorrow morning in Germany at like 5 a.m. or something.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyway,
That's gonna be wild. It's an exciting time to be just in general. Like
for you especially, because you have had no success since '79.
Yeah. I mean, this is the first time we've had this strong
got
start.
A good team,
like the early 2000s.
Rich, we should start a sportscast.
Yeah, man. Dude,
during football season.
I'd be down. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Cool. Sorry, we're gonna bore Crowan.
We could talk about shoes.
Yeah, we can talk about shoes. So before we get into other stuff in here, I guess we could just touch on a little bit of news stories that have been happening around.
But first,
there did happen.
Look at this one. I'm KillDashNine.
Oh my god.
I
walked away to get my Owa collection. I'm like, God, I hope I miss it.
Tighten up the editing in that. You'll never be in advertising.
Was that a real Slim Jim?
Yes.
I respect that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's gotta be a real Slim Jim.
I have to.
I can't eat them because they give me heartburn, but I respect the fact that you went all in with it.
Yeah,
they just don't taste very good when you.
I used to love them when I was younger, and I was like, I don't know why I like this. It's like this weird congealed meat thing.
There's better beef sticks and jerky for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Randy Savage didn't do commercials. So.
Yeah, it's pretty good times. There used to be this really awesome brand, but anyway. So yeah, in the news section, we did get a new update. And it dropped. Didn't it drop like today?
Yes.
I think. I saw the notification overnight. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Well, for us, yeah.
Yep. They released a hotfix for the Evercade VS to help with some reported issues with the C64 Collection 1, and you can download that update right now. So that just happened just a bit ago. So. So we don't know. Does anyone know exactly what some of those reported things were that got fixed? Because I'm not sure. I didn't even put the C64 collection in my Evercade yet. So
I can speak from my own experience. Like I know, like Marauder was working, and then you would go to load it, and then the screen wouldn't even just go black. It would go, and then it would just kind of like dim and go blink. It wouldn't play, but it was working initially, and some other people. So like Winter Games or Summer Games did the same thing. So it was just like some games wouldn't load, and
Well, that's interesting that they don't even have a blog post about it yet if they plan on doing one. So that's where all the bug fixes would be if they posted about it.
Yeah, they would usually have a blog post. But right now, I'm on the blog right now. There's nothing up there except for probably what we'll talk about next. But yeah. It's good that there was people that did the reports. They got in there, they got the hotfix up, and then it's up. So, not too bad there, and hopefully that'll excuse me, put any other future issues to bed on that. So,
and it was just the VS. The handheld was fine.
Yeah.
Oh no, we lost Pete.
Yeah, it actually said his devices just got disconnected. I don't know if he had a hard freeze or something else.
That's
he's
weird.
He's still in
Are you done?
He's still in the backstage, so hopefully he'll do the thing there. So, there we go. Maybe get him back. Yeah, he's. I can see him trying to fix that.
Oh, there we go. He's got Cathedral.
Let me see.
There we go.
Hello.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. I thought I'd put this up instead of staring at my ugly mug.
Yeah, that's cool though. It's another one of those things. It's like, hey, Rich, just open it. Just put it in. Start playing. Very cool. Very cool. So, a question there from Robert. If I update now, will it also update the game of the month? I'm still working my way through the last offering. Yes, that will 100%. If you add Lunar Journey, and you update right now, you'll get Bibis 2 instead. So yeah, if you want to finish up Lunar Journey before you do that, I would
That is interesting.
highly recommend doing that.
That is interesting though with Evercade, how they don't have patches. Like you have to, you have to update the whole firmware of everything. So
yeah. I mean, I guess maybe that's just how they can deploy right now. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll figure out a way of compartmentalizing those updates or whatever. But for right now, that's just the way that goes. So, but yeah, let's see. Yeah, nobody else talking about the C64 stuff there. So let's just jump in because we did it last time, and I actually didn't even read this yet, but I'm gonna pop up this thing here, and there's been another Evercade top 5 that got put up. So you know what? Let's see.
I just noticed that, and if it's what's in the pictures, I would only disagree with one of those. I think.
Yeah, let's pop up and see how they did this time, because I thought it was fun last time going through that.
There was. So
here we got top 5 Atari Lynx games on the Evercade from Pete Davison. Number 1 on the list, I guess, is not in any particular order, but Crystal Mines 2, Buried Treasure. 100% agree.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's a great
game. Can't complain about that one being on the list.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people actually, I think there's a lot of people that say that is their favorite Lynx game out of all of the collection. So
yeah,
and I enjoy it as well, and it would be in my top 5. So that's a solid pick right there.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, come on, it's pretty dope, right?
Yeah, it's definitely in my top.
And that's an aftermarket game too, right?
It's partially. There's extra levels in it that weren't in the original version.
Yeah. So it says here in this little blurb, originally released for the Lynx in 1992. It had 181 levels, 150 main stages, 31 bonus levels, and then in 2003, Songbird released a follow-up version with
there we go,
125 brand new levels, and that's the expanded version that goes on the collection there. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and you got a Crystal Mines 2 right there.
Nice.
Yeah, I do.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's neat. So, all right, cool. Let's find out what's the next one on this list. It's Ashido Way of the Stones.
Really?
Gosh, no.
Yeah, this is the one I disagree with because I did not like this game.
Me neither.
Yeah,
no.
I'm kind of saying like maybe that one's just that's a weird one. Let's go to the blurb here and see maybe why.
It's not the worst game, but I ranked it as a C in my thing. So I didn't exactly hate it, but I didn't really like it either.
Yeah.
For me, it's not even the top. How many Lynx games were ever made? 50? So it's probably 51.
Is it like 70 something?
Oh, yeah. No. I wouldn't. I wouldn't put it like at the very, very lowest because there's way worse games than this.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played all of them. I'm sure there are though.
But yeah, not a fan of this one. I don't
know. I don't think I would. I don't think I would do that.
No,
you know what?
This doesn't belong on this list.
Oh, I know what would exactly go in this spot. But let's finish the list and then I'll tell you. Because I don't think the game I have in mind is on this list.
So yeah, maybe we can actually bring up a list and see if we could find another one to slot in here. But this is an interesting pick for sure. Again, not necessarily would have been on my list as well. Then we've got Super Asteroids Missile Command.
I fully agree with this one. This was my favorite of all the Lynx games on both collections.
I love this. This game's great.
Yeah,
we talked about this a couple years ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, when we went over Lynx, we definitely touched on this one. This one's a good time. And these are two good versions of the game. And I know that know that for me, I prefer other versions of both of these games a little more, but that's not to say that they're both still not great games that I would play in this one.
I don't say they're like a version. They kind of are, but the fact that it's Super Asteroids and Super Missile Command, they're clearly trying to be like sequels or upgrades to the original versions.
Right.
And it's with all the power-ups in both of those games that I really like this one.
Yeah, they do kind of like, they do enough difference, I guess, to have them feel a little different.
They're very different, because I think in Asteroids, I think you could bounce off the asteroids.
Yeah, you get power.
Yeah, you can get that it's like that like shieldy.
But you want that though, right? You don't want it to be just another port of like the 2600 game. You want it to be its own standalone game.
Yeah, it's completely its own game. But it's an upgrade. It's like it gives there's a reason that there's the word super there.
If you just had this dual cart and put it in your Lynx to play, like it'd be worth it just to like keep that card in there.
Yeah, I mean, it is a strong game set for sure. I would say I'd say 100%. I'd put,
because this plays different, and even the 2600 version compared to the arcade plays different, because you have like just the one button versus the three, so they're all kind of like they're all different enough to be like their own different kind of game.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's a good pick. It's a strong pick. Then we got Chips Challenge.
Yes.
Well, I can't disagree with this one being on there. This Chips Challenge is a very popular game, no matter what platform it's on.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I mean, this one might be one in my list. If it was a top 5, I might put this at rank 1.
It's such a good game.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, I remember playing this. I played versions of this on the PC way back when.
Yeah, Windows 3.1. Yeah.
I'd play this for hours and hours and hours and hours, and then I'd get stuck on one level, and just I wouldn't stop until I figured it out. It's a good stuff. This is, I think easily this is probably my favorite of all of the Lynx games.
Chip is my dude.
Yeah, Chip's my dude. Nice. Yes, for sure. I mean, it's a good time. This one's and solidly needs to be on this list for sure. Anyone that hasn't played, if you got Lynx and you never played Chips Challenge, I mean, put that in there and start playing.
And plus, like, you don't, with the save states, you don't need to worry about the passwords either.
That is a convenience. Yeah.
Yes, that is a very convenient thing for sure. And then we've got no screenshot, which is weird, but Electrocop.
I wouldn't put it in my top 5, but I wouldn't complain about it being in the top 5.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
There's one game that they seriously missed that I think is a huge mistake, that the Lynx was known from being popular, and that's Slime World. I mean, that's like on the Atari 50th collection. That should be here.
But to me, that's also a Genesis game, because I remember that game being on the Genesis.
That's true.
But actually, my top pick that isn't on here would have been Checkered Flag.
That's a good one.
Really?
That's a good.
That was my favorite. That's my favorite game out of both collections. I liked it so much that I actually bought the physical version of it.
Oh dang!
Oh wow. That one is pretty cool though. I like that one.
There's a lot of options in that one.
I want to say it is that. I have to jump in on this. I have to jump in on the manual. But and I know it's a weird one that probably other people might not like, but I just want to make sure that it's the one that I'm thinking of. Nope, must be on the other collection. Because I almost said Zolar Mercenary, but that's not it.
Yeah, that actually I put in D. I thought that was a bad game.
Yeah, that wasn't the one I was thinking of.
I mean, I think like Electrocop, not that I think they put it on there because it's different. Like it's kind of 3D, but if they were going to put puzzle games, like they should have put Loops. Like Loops is
I was going to say I had to choose a puzzle game.
That other puzzle game, if it had to do a puzzle.
I would have chose Loops as a puzzle game too.
Or like Blue Lightning, Scrapyard Dog. I mean, those were like really good.
Yeah.
Gates of Zendikon. I mean, it's just kind of strange.
Yeah, I mean, Cybervirus might have made it for me.
Oh yeah, that game's good too.
I really enjoyed it. I know it's weird and it's not necessarily like 100% amazing as far as first person action goes, but as far as like the Lynx went, like I don't know, it had a little bit of charm for me, and it was one of the ones that I wound up playing the most of when we were doing the Lynx collections.
Dude.
So
what's funny? I actually ranked Ishido over Cybervirus.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
That's funny.
I think Atari still owns a light. They need to, because that game was like meant to be played in tape mode, and it's a unique version. Like you can be like ninjas and crazy. Yeah, that game would be excellent to have.
Yeah, and the only other one that might have been in contention, because again, there's a whole bunch of stuff, and sometimes I like to have like genre representation in the top 5 list too. There wasn't anything in the way of like platformers, and Scrapyard Dog is actually a pretty good game, so I'm gonna slide that in there as well.
It actually is. It's crazy. That game is crazy. That's what I'll say about that game.
Yes, it is absolutely insane. So I would have said, hey, why don't give Scrapyard Dog some love.
Somebody mentioned this game, even though it's not on the Evercade, but I wouldn't have mind seeing this one. It's Pinball Jam.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
That's cool with Elvira in there.
So here's
it's actually got 2 real pinball machines in here.
You can put it in tape mode. So what's funny about that, because like I know like Namco doesn't own the license to. I'm trying to remember who does, but they could release it, but then they'd have to rename it like Miss Pac Mom or something because of the licensing, like they've had to do with Arcade 1-Ups. I forget who owns that.
The licensing is weird. I can't remember, but there's a distinction whether or not it's an arcade game with a coin slot, if it's a home version without a coin slot. The coin slot is the differentiating fact, the thing that depends on who can publish the game, I guess.
Yeah,
but I agree. I would take any additional versions of like Miss Pac-Man or Pac-Man would be welcomed.
Yeah. So, another fun list. I actually hope that they keep doing those.
I like it.
It's neat to kind of like go over and like.
It gives us content.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that too. But it's one of those things where it's like, oh, what are their feelings over there in the offices? How are they doing their rankings? It's cool. Kind of gives it a little insight.
We still got other cartridges to go through too.
Yeah. For sure. So. Very, very, very interesting. So what else do we want to jump in here?
Can I share my polls?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we could do polls.
Oh, can we show polls?
Polls. Yeah, we've been doing like this thing where over on Evercade Effect, there's been some poll action going on, checking out the interests of the community. Go ahead, Ed. We'll talk about these.
Yeah. So I was just kind of curious as when I kind of like, how do you spend your weekends with family, gaming and family? And so, yeah, there are some people out there. They're just hardcore gamers.
Yeah. But were those the only 3 options?
Yes. Yeah.
Because there's no like yard work option or
no.
Yeah, I know it's been real. It's like, see ya.
Try to this. Yeah, no, I hear you. Geared more towards gamers. Like, hey, when kind of given the choice, are you just going to be like gaming and like locking yourself in a room, or you split your time between gaming and your family, or on the weekends you're like, hey, no, I value this more just to be with my family. So. Not to shame anybody, but that.
I mean,
I'm a taxi driver on the weekend. Does that count?
What's that?
What?
I'm a taxi driver on the weekend.
So second job, that could have been another.
Yeah.
I'll have to do that. Yeah.
Maybe Uber.
Uber. Nice. No, yeah, I'm solidly in that gaming and family weekend mix because of course, it's always great to get away and game, but there's always room for some good family time as well. Yeah. Awesome. I mean, there's also like from August through January, there's another option, and it's football. So there's that. It's like football, gaming, and family as well. So
yeah, it was just kind of fun to see. I kind of did expect this to be a lot higher. Actually, just the gaming by itself, surprisingly. But I mean, then again, if you're single, I mean, obviously, I can,
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're like bacheloring it up or at uni or whatever, and you're away from family, and you're just like, hey, I'm done with working right now. I'm just gonna do 24 hours a day.
So these next two kind of like lead in specifically to kind of
Yep.
These
lead into our next conversation.
These two topics. So I kind of knew the answer, but I just had to ask, what card are you playing more of? Yeah, 79% of people all on Cathedral over the.
But what if you're playing them both evenly, like I am?
The crow option,
because they're both 0%.
There's a reason that I did. So what's interesting is that it's kind of funny the way the Evercade ecosystem works. Like, let's just say, like, if the C64 collection came out just by itself, then that would get a lot more love and attention. But for me, like,
oh yeah, that's what happened to me.
Yeah, but for me, though, like Owl was a great game, and I love them both. But there's something about Cathedral, the aesthetics, the system, where they give you enough like hints to figure stuff out, but they don't hold your hand. And they have and there's a map. At the same time, when you die, you lose like 10% of your gold, and you can stretch it full screen, and it runs natively. Like, for me, like, I want more of these dual carts. Like, I think it really shines on the Evercade. Like, this was truly a gem.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see which card you're playing more of. I mean, I guess maybe it's like people want to jump in, and we've been waiting for Cathedral for a while, so.
I didn't even know about Cathedral until Blaze announced it. I was maybe behind the times. I had heard and seen other YouTubers do videos of it. The Cathedral was just
I actually found out about it through Premium Edition games, because I so far bought everything that they put out for the Switch, and that was one of the games.
Got it. Yeah.
They both had the same publisher, so that's why they were able to get the licensing.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't know that until I looked on Steam. So, and then kind of ties into this, like, how are you playing Cathedral? FAQs or walkthroughs. Only if I'm stuck, I search the internet, and then, like, don't shame me. Using guides is my style, and then I play like the 80s. If I get stuck, I'll ask a buddy. And what was hilarious? Skellchecks responded to. Yeah, he said, no shame. I'll hit up the old Google. He said, if that doesn't work, I'm coming to you, Ed. Show me the way, baby.
Nice. Yeah, that's good times. Yeah. I you know what? I mean, it depends on what game it is. I'm like a different option in any game. Like, I usually start with no facts or walkthroughs. I'm just like no, I'm not even like messing with any of that stuff. I just want to play until I hit a wall, and then I'll figure it out. I'll either figure it out, or I'll like go and then I'm the next one. But there are some games where I just know that I'm gonna get annihilated, so I'll go right in with a guide and just play. Just because
there's a reason I asked this. What was the? I hate that I can't remember the name. What was the name on the Indie Heroes? What was that Zelda-like game? I can't believe I forgot.
Are you thinking of Anguna?
Yes. So Anguna, I purposely did use a walkthrough, because from that game I was just we've talked. I was like frustrated, and then so I used this if I could stuck Alaska. But Pete said, hey, once you find the lantern, it makes it a lot easier. And then that, but it was kind of a weird game design that until they did that, you kind of had to suffer. Then it was better. But then the way that game is designed, like, if you miss certain power-ups, like health or your weapon, it's going to make bosses a lot harder. So I did use the FAQ. I still enjoyed it. But with Cathedral, though, I wanted to play it more old school and not do that, because, kind of force my brain. So I responded to, I wanted to force my brain and kind of think about it. And I've gotten more. It's been more satisfying that way. So for me, there's no wrong way to do this. However you have fun playing the game, but for me, I'm going to try to stick to that option if I can.
But it was funny and you bring that up, because in Guna, I played that while I was on vacation, and I didn't have access to the internet, so I had to figure it out myself.
Yeah. Well, what's neat too that they did in this game is that there's like a little there's like a fortune teller guy, and I kid you not, for one level, he's like, to get to the boss, you need to get these 2 items, and that's kind of it. And then the other thing that's interesting is I like the way that they work the save system. So here's the one thing I wish Blaze would have done. I wish they would have like put in the manual and said the progress in your game is always saved. When you go to a statue, it's a checkpoint, and so when you die, you go back there, but you keep your gold minus the 10%, and all that. So here's what's interesting, and I know we talked a little bit about this. So like in Alwa, I'm trying to play that without save states, because you could use a save state right before a boss. With this, they give you close checkpoints, but for me, like, I think the system it works out without save states, but I think it would kind of break the system because it constantly saves and it punishes you with losing gold. So it's gonna. I've been tempted though, and I'll want to use save states, but I haven't. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is pretty interesting. So, so Ed, you're going to be doing
the gatekeeper.
Oh, nice. Ed, you're going to be doing some more of those polls on the channel going forward, right?
Yeah. People seem to like it. It's fun. You know, it's a shame. Like YouTube, you know, everybody. If you get to like 100, if you get to 100 subs, they should give it out to everybody because I like how it's. You know, I don't. When you go to Twitter, it's out to everywhere. Like I feel like I'm talking more to content creators. When I put it out like on my channel, I feel like I'm talking to y'all. It's so much
yeah,
better.
no, it's cool.
I don't know why there's a subscriber count to having limit to having the community tab. It kind of doesn't make sense to me, but
it doesn't make sense to me either.
Yeah,
you know?
But maybe there's that limit there to stop people from like creating new channels and spamming
probably
stuff. I don't. Yeah, it's probably has something to do with that.
Yeah,
the community tab is awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. I think though, like if they were gonna do a thing, right, to move it, because they've been like messing around with who gets it, who doesn't now. I would say at least 100, right? 100 should be like like that's like the first gate for everything. You can get your personalized name and your channel, and you get your community tab, so you don't have to wait until 500. And all.
Oh man, I can remember playing Gran Turismo on my PlayStation 1 and not having a memory card.
Yeah,
and I'm leaving on from Friday night until Monday afternoon until I can get to EB Games to get a memory card.
I've been there.
Well, what's funny is when the PlayStation 2 came out, right on release, there was a shortage of memory cards. Stores didn't have them, so you can for the first couple days at least, you kind of had to play without saving anything.
Right.
This brings me back because like especially like Nintendo, what the heck is a memory card, But like so for me, like my parents like they had like those like TVs like they're like in the wooden console and like so like in the back of it there's a space where I could slide my Nintendo, and so very carefully. If I wanted to do that, I could put it behind there, but every now and then, like you'd hit the spring and it would reset the game. But yeah, that's funny though, Pete, that you mentioned that about like with the PS1. I remember way back in college, like when Final Fantasy VII was popular. I could remember like some roommates upstairs going out and buying memory cards. Just they didn't even own a PlayStation or own that game, but they just wanted to have a memory card to keep their save with them playing it on someone else's PlayStation. So that was a cool. Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
That is pretty wild.
Command and Conquer.
Well, it's funny. I never really remembered a situation where I had to leave on any console. I guess I just didn't play the kind of games where I actually made sure I was finished before I stopped playing. I guess I don't know. Yeah,
I used to inadvertently leave the console on a bunch, not necessarily so I didn't lose progress. It's just so that I could continue to gain progress. Because I would.
I've done that. Yes.
Yeah, like in an RPG or something like that, you set up, the old rubber band, and then like.
I've done that on the Evercade.
Yeah,
that's right.
I mean, it's like it's the best. Because sometimes you just gotta, you're just looking to grind out some stuff, and then
save states are interesting. So sometimes I'm a little bit conflicted because something like Xeno Crisis. Like if you want to so it's good. So here's the thing, because sometimes in the save state, you got to be careful. Cause like, let's say you play a game where you only have like 3 lives and then you're done. Like some of those like shooters on the C64, it's like, then you have to decide, well, let's say I got to level 3. Do I really want to continue from here with no lives? But then again, sometimes like when you take a break, especially handheld, you want to resume, but sometimes replaying those spots that were tough do make you a better gamer. So for me, I'm conflicted to where, I like having a save state, but sometimes like I feel like doing that does disrupt the flow of my game. But then sometimes like I want to get past a certain point, but then sometimes I feel like, what, if I kind of were to grind it out, it would make me a better player. So I'm kind of
something I could tell you. Would you believe me if I told you that on the C64 you could have bought a cartridge that let you save states for any game? You could do that on the Commodore 64. There were cartridges that let you, like Game Genie cartridges, for example, where you could, cheat the games. They're just cartridges you plug in the C64. Fast loader cartridges, those kind of things. So you could do all that stuff already on the Commodore 64, but you had to buy the cartridge that let you do it.
That's kind of cool. Very neat. Very
I will
neat.
say with Evercade, though, the fact that they're there, like, it lets you play the game, how you want to. It's kind of like using cheat codes and all that. So that you know what, that does bring up a good question. What if they did like have like an embedded Game Genie in the firmware? Would that be cool to be able to use cheat codes? Or
I wonder if there's some sort of licensing reason why they couldn't do that, because I know there's already emulators that do that, where you can put
but
in
don't call it
Game
Game Genie though.
But you're still using the code from it, so you still wouldn't be able to
call it Blaze Genie. No.
Well, yeah, and you're right. There's a lot of actual emulators that in their kernel they have like a slot for they actually just call it Game Genie or just cheat codes. And then there's sometimes some of the emulators actually come with a repository, which is awesome because you just load the game and you're like, oh, I want this code and this code and this code, and then you just launch your game.
I wonder who actually owns the Game Genie rights, because I don't think America's around anymore.
Yeah, I mean, or Galoob, right? They got
Galoob was just distributing it for Camerica, I think, because it's a Canadian product.
Yeah.
Or is Blaze being old school, where it's like, no, we want you to search the internet, kind of like you have to, and put in those codes manually. And
but the Genie, added and altered the game code, like in ways that weren't available, right? I mean that would be cool, Ryan. That'd be real cool, because
actually it was Game Genie was designed by Codemasters. I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because now that we're getting Wi-Fi, I mean, it could just be, I think you could do it, not call it Game Genie. And because I think emulators have like just most emulators have like some type of built-in cheat code system. And then since we have Wi-Fi enabled devices, you could just download the cheat codes per game or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be very cool.
Every Genie.
Yeah. Why not?
Oh yeah, that's right. It was developed by Codemasters.
Yeah, well, that's Code's just finding that out. Yeah.
So if they have the license for Codemasters, because there's a Codemasters collection, I wonder if they could do something to get Game Genie in there.
That would be very cool.
You know what though? I remember the Game Genie, at least with the Nintendo one, when you put the game in, it would make this certain horrible like crunching sound. And at the time, I was like,
as you put it into the console.
At first, as you put the game into the cart.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because the pins.
Yeah.
The pins on either side of the Game Genie, I guess they made them specifically to be like, I don't know, there's just a little bit too long.
Yes.
Or like, I mean, I'm not describing it right, but it's like they made it so that when you put the cartridge in, it made sure to contact with all of those brass, and then you put it back into the console. It did the same thing.
Yeah, but that's like a distinct kind of screaching sound, and I never questioned it. Like, am I damaging my cart? Now I would never like do that. But.
Yeah, well, so the other reason, the reason why they did that though is, I think they had there was an earlier version where the whatever material that they used was actually like not brittle but more pliable than they thought it was. So people would use it like 2 or 3 times and then put a game in and it wouldn't recognize the cart because the pins actually just bent. Ooh. And then they stayed up.
I think I might remember that.
Yeah. So then there was like, now there's like some people that do videos about them. They're like, you can like get like one of those precision screwdrivers and actually just pull each pin back down, which is wild. So I've had firsthand knowledge on one of those, as I have a Genie upstairs. But yeah, no, that's really cool, and that would be cool to have for some of the console stuff on the Evercade, because it would help me get through some of those things. It also makes things like really interesting and fun sometimes on some of these games.
So while we're talking about codes, like I know there's like that that C64 game you can unlock, but I haven't like for me I haven't even bothered with that. I'm waiting for when the EXP comes out and we hope we get that menu where we can see all our unlocked games, because I admit for me, like that's kind of a pain to go in and have to put in the code. But if there's a menu that I could pick from, I would play those games more.
Yeah, well, I mean, if there's a game you really, really like, you're gonna remember what the code is. But yeah, right. you still have to put it in.
You would think that, but I don't even remember all the games and all the lists all the time. And like, if you can't, I don't know. Maybe I'm more visual.
That's what Evercade.info is for, sir.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I actually haven't even played any of the hidden games yet. So once I get caught up, yeah, because I'm waiting to get caught up with everything else before I do that.
Oh wow! I don't know, Crow. I think you're gonna get buried.
I'm catching up. Hey, I'm catching up. Like I said, actually it's 11 o'clock already. So my video's up on Galco Arcade 1. So
nice. All right.
So I'm making progress.
Yep, you're at 3. I still haven't done my arcade takeover, so I'm at 0.
I need to pull myself away from Cathedral because I really want to rank the games on the C64, but it's just like Cathedral has just absorbed me.
Yeah.
Into it so much, more so than any other game like that. Like Pico, that one RPG that I can't, not the one that's just a battle system, but the other one that I can't think of the name.
Cannon.
Brave Battle Saga.
Yeah,
it's like that. You were thinking of Brave Battle Saga, and
yes, that's what
Cannon?
I mean. That's why I said that got me sucked in, and I played it maybe I switch back and forth, but I played that up to the 30 hours, and I kind of since then I've been wanting another game that just sucks me into it. Now, of course, there's certain points where you get frustrated, but I haven't gotten to the point yet where I'm like, no, this game is too frustrating, and I never go back and revisit it. Like sometimes I have with other, which is other games that aren't RPGs. So there's something special. And I hope next year, because I know for the announcements they've hinted they're gonna have dual carts, maybe single carts. I think they need to have more of those carts. I mean, for me, I like the smaller curated collections with better games, whether it be like arcade or not. Not that like C64 isn't fun to explore. Indie Heroes 2, love that, but I really love these like curated games where they're like double A's.
Yeah, that's very cool. I think. Speaking of questions and polls, there's a definite question there. As I frantically try to get to the channel so I can get in here.
Do people want to see more native games? Yes, I think yes.
We
need.
I am gonna create a poll. That says just that.
I think next year, if the red carts were just like native games, of course, other than Indie Heroes 2, because I think that would be freaking fantastic.
But I don't know who would say no. I mean, it would depend on what the game is, really.
So it depends. So it depends on what you want. So I think everybody kind of changes with this journey. Like initially, I got into when I got into the Evercade, it was because just for the retro games, and I think over time I've gotten to like more. Like I know Pete has always said for the longest time he loves indie games, and that this kind of brought me back to that, and that's why I've also dabbled even a little bit into Steam because they're there's those awesome indie games that never really make it to anything else, and I'd like to see more of that on Evercade.
Mm-hmm.
When I said Xeno things like Xeno Crisis, I feel like these are to that level. I like Cathedral more than Xeno Crisis like that. I'll definitely say that. Don't get me wrong, I like the Indie Heroes games where you can jump in. They're fun little experiences, but then I like these really polished, well thought out games. They don't have to necessarily be Metroidvanias. They can be whatever. But yeah, I love it.
And
yes, dude.
16 votes so far, 100% in there. Looking cool.
That's cool. 100%.
So yeah, I mean there's your answer there, Ryan. That was pretty quick. Oh,
there's a contrarian.
There it is. There it is.
Hey, no. You know something? I had to say no just so somebody would.
Rigged.
That's awesome. But
just keep in mind though that I think we talked about this native games they're not gonna have save states. So I think will we have a game where we'll care about that or will we not? Deal or not?
It almost comes to the point, right? I think Evercade is almost ripe for an exclusive one of these days. Wouldn't that now? I think that could be a game changer, an exclusive game just on the Evercade.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, something maybe it they could test drive it with maybe a Katie platformer or something like that.
Right.
Just something really done well. Could be good.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would love for them to explore that.
Imagine if they put an exclusive out, that would drive people to the system if it was a good game. If it's a game,
because
of course,
there kind of is an exclusive on the Evercade.
So what's better, Xeno dual cart or Alwa dual cart? Oh, that's easy, Alwa all the way.
Yeah,
I don't even have Cathedral. I don't even have that cart yet, but I know it's already better.
Oh yeah, Cathedral Xeno Crisis is good, but I mean the Fox game, Tanglewood, it's meh.
It's okay. It's you can play it through twice.
It's a big giant meh.
It's got 2 different endings.
I know, but
two different endings.
Xeno Crisis.
You know what? If you need to chill out after the craziness of Xeno Crisis, no better game to chill out with, until you get chased by that giant boar.
Well, that happens a lot in that game.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. For me, believe it or not, like for me, I still think Astro Smash is a great chill game. Like if you want something where you want to have some action and just kind of sit back.
Yeah.
Tanglewood.
I know some people love it. Like, it is kind of like a cool little just float around and that kind of thing. But I mean, I have a funny feeling that when I get into Alwa's and Cathedral, like if they're as strong as everyone is saying that they are, like in the end, am I going to then look at okay, well, Xeno is a really strong, very awesome game, kind of blew me away in the way it was presented and plays, even though it's partially not necessarily my cup of tea gameplay-wise. But I like those games and I want to get better at them. And then Tanglewood's just kind of like exploration, just kind of hang out, whatever, is neat. I have a very funny feeling that these 2 games, though, are going to push it over. The poll should be, what's your preference, more small games or a few deep games? Well, that's a good poll.
My answer to that is having most of the games I ever wanted to have collections of, physical versions of. Let's get that clear, because I've got physical versions of a bunch of games that you can't get physical anywhere else. We're not getting if we don't get the Activision collection or the iMagic collection, I just want dual carts, to be honest with you. Like I'd rather have really deep dual carts or tri-carts that's not called Worms. Like,
hey, you know what? Worms is my go-to game.
Says a lot about you right there, Charles. I'm all for some really good. There's so many awesome, amazing indie games that are like epic RPGs, platformers, stuff like that. I'd like to see a lot of those.
Yes, even single game carts. That's I would be fine.
What's the name of that crazy game that guy put out on the Genesis?
Oh,
Crazy Bus.
Beat 'em up.
Yeah, that
beat 'em up one. Yeah.
What are you talking about? Coffee Crisis?
No. It was like $150. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Are you talking about a game that's not on the Evercade?
It's on the Genesis. It came out on the Genesis last year, year after. But like this dude. Oh yeah, Paparim. I'd love to see Paparim on the Evercade.
I vaguely heard.
So I can finally play it.
That.
Dude,
I want to play that game.
Right.
We need that. That should just be a single cart by itself with instruction booklet, and what they could do to make that a little bit special, because if you take the Genesis, your Genesis and you plug it into like a Sega CD, you can choose to have like second player, like the AI play with you. They could just give that an option. I mean, even if they didn't, I'd be fine with that. But yes, thank you for bringing that up.
The guy made it so crazy. You'd probably want
is this game out because it doesn't?
Yes, but there's been some controversy because I think it was in 2018, there was a few year period where people didn't even know that they were going to get it, and their money was held up, and then once they finally did send them out, everyone didn't get it, and they had to do a Kickstarter so they could still fund the original people that put down their money. So I think this would help them recoup that money. Just single game, make an awesome instruction booklet. Yeah, Pete, that I totally forgot about that.
You know what else they could do is go to Steam, find the top indie games that have no physical versions anywhere, and see if they can fit and make work on the Evercade, because that's what's the problem with Steam is they're digital versions of the games, but there's a whole market that would want to play those games and have the physical, which is Evercade, right? That's what Evercade does. So I think there's some really good games that they could go and try to look for.
Yeah. So Ryan,
it's only a win-win for the developer.
Ryan, are you taking notes on what Pete's saying? Go do that. Sorry. Well,
it's a win-win, right? Like the developer already got the game out. They apparently can run those games. Cathedral and Alwa were both Steam games. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be cool for them to put I'd love to see the 16-bit version of Alwa on the Evercade now too. And like, because we got the 8-bit, the 16-bit's gorgeous. Like, that would be cool to see one day. Maybe on a Indie Heroes collection as maybe one of the games would be cool. Because that game is really fun. Yeah. Even though number 8-bit is definitive, 16-bit is gorgeous.
That would be neat. Yeah, throw it on Indie Heroes 3. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, now that we are getting Indie Heroes every year, which is the greatest announcement ever.
Yeah. What about natives? Yes, that would be, dude, that's fine.
Yeah, why not? Let's go.
Well,
I might even license my Playdate game to you. That's available for free right now. The one I built. 50 coins of Deadly Doom. Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
That would be awesome too. The problem, I know, I would love Vampire Survivor, but I think that's one of those games that constantly is going to get updates, like Stardew Valley or something. You know what I mean? Like, where do you cap it?
Right. Yeah, it might not fit the platform based on the fact that they might want to push more updates than.
Oh, I played Vampire Survivors because Ed made me buy it. He made me spend $5 on it. It is a fantastic game in which you literally just have it's one button control. Basically, all you're doing is like. It's a great game. Great game.
I'd never steer you wrong, Pete. Yeah,
I didn't know what I was doing wrong first. I'm like, why is my buttons not working? Why is he just automatically? Oh, now I get it.
I did the same thing. I thought it was just gonna, be like your typical dungeon crawler. Then I realized, depending on the hero, is the direction that it auto shoots, and yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great. Like, that's what I would be doing. Like, it's like all these local developers, like getting a physical version of them. I guarantee you, majority of these indie developers would love the fact that they can have physical versions of their games. Like, why not?
Well, a lot of them
that would be great.
Do like for example, Flea. You could get an NES cartridge of that.
Yeah, I mean something more on a modern console that, like, like people.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, but not a lot of people are able to play it on an NES.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And I mean, let's be honest
here,
right? Like, the NES, the Super Nintendo, as much as I love all those systems, they're a bit of a chore to play the games the way they should be played on CRTs. Get an NES, have that technology available. Man, most TVs coming out today don't even have AV inputs on the back anymore. They're just pure HDMI. So, like, as much as I love collecting and, well, I really kind of got everything I want in my collection, it is a bit of a chore. The Evercade is just an easy way to play these games. Sure, it's emulation or whatever, but who gives a rat's ass? I'm tired of – I'm going on a tangent now. I put in a video why I hated the Analog Pocket because of the comfort. People hate me for that video. And yeah, I've gotten so many dislikes, and I should just do a video on the comments. I'm the worst human being ever because I didn't like it because of comfort. But they get a lot of comments about, oh, you're just an emulation fanboy. 99% of all gamers cannot tell the difference between an emulated game and a game running on FPGA. I guarantee you, if they say they can, they're just freaking flexing for the sake of flexing. They're morons in my book, because you know what? The Evercade, like, I guarantee you, like, if there wasn't YouTubers out there would have always made the point saying, oh, it's emulation, not FPGA. You know who you are, YouTubers. You're big giant ones. You don't need to say that. No one gives a rat's ass that you're saying that. No one cares.
Well, I'd say that it for a distinction of how you're playing the game, maybe that would be something. Hey, I'm playing this to get this game on this system or platform, but it's only something that needs to be mentioned once.
It's an elitist attitude, and it's anti-gaming. And for I could care. Analog, you got your niche, big deal. You're doing FPGA. You're paying through the nose for it. But I sit down. I've been playing games since 1977, 78, and I can tell you right now, I don't give her, like, I can't tell the difference between them. Maybe I'm not a great elite gamer like all those people in my YouTube comments, but I'm telling you right now, it's ridiculous. And the fact that every video that these YouTubers put out saying, oh, just let you know, it's not FPGA. Yeah, okay. And every one of them do streams with emulation anyway. So, yeah, whatever.
Pete, you need you need to make a video, call it FPGA is a scam. Dude, you need to do it.
It is just another way to make money off of people who have too much of it. And I fell into that trap. And I fell into that trap. And I bought this Analog Pocket. And you know what? It is a cool piece of technology. But I cannot recommend that to any gamer who wants to play Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. You want to go play it? Go get an EverDrive and put it in original console. You're better off.
Well, with FPGA, even if you you're not going to have like that big of a you're not going to be able to tell the difference in emulation. It's still a stepping stone technology that could lead to something else down the way.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like it's just people gatekeeping. That's all, and I don't like it.
Because
like,
it's hardware versus
where
software. Yeah, and it's like, is it that much better? And it's just funny, Pete, because I never see videos of FPGA compared to software. I would love to see that because, yeah, you have a great point. Because for an analog pocket, okay, so you spend $2, $4, whatever, you spend a lot of money and just to get that FPGA, or you can get a Steam Deck, which you can do all that stuff plus more. So yeah, I agree 100%. Except you can't.
And you know what? And Analog puts out this beautiful FPGA. Oh, play it on the way it's supposed to be meant to play. And guess what? They added in their software, save states, everything that you get with emulation games. So don't, even they know that, most people enjoy the flexibility of emulation. Anyway, just drives me nuts. And they use that constantly to piss on Evercade. They constantly use it to piss all over Evercade, and it drives me freaking nuts. Like, it just drives me absolutely wild. It's like, why do you need to go make that distinction? It doesn't matter. The average gamer who's buying this doesn't care how the games are getting on their screen. They're just happy the game is on their screen. That's all.
Yeah. I can agree. I can agree with that. I mean, it's just I don't know. I play these because it's convenient.
And you have a Retron. We all have Retrons.
Yeah, I have a Retron right here, and I'm not going to give it up.
I don't have one.
It's but it's the maximum amount of convenience that I could have in the retro space, right? My Retron 5, I can plug just about anything into this thing and turn it on and have it work. So
yeah, dude,
so yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. Like,
people are loving this.
I don't know. I have never really explored the FPGA world either, like on my own. And the barrier is, oh yeah, well, you could get all this cool stuff and you can have it be like the way it was meant to be played or whatever. But here, spend double what you would have on any other device, and you're like, I don't know if I want to do that. I just, I guess maybe.
But here's what's funny, because people will say like it's meant to be played on the CRT, which I think is hilarious because people forget like there's an LCD on a Game Boy. You know what I mean? And so to me, I think it just depends on what people like visually like to look at. Like, I love HDMI. I love seeing the details of pixels. I love how it scales. I don't know why there's so many people that are like, must be.
But that's not the way it was intended to be played. When they designed the game, they designed it to be what it looks like on a CRT.
But see, I disagree with that statement because that was the technology.
You can't disagree with it. That's what the technology was at the time. That's what they designed the game for.
But it doesn't mean that it was meant to be played on the CRT. That's what was available. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what was available. So that's what they designed the game to be played on.
Yeah. So anyway, that's well said, everyone. Like awesome conversations. As always. Just I guess finalizing the poll results. We had 29 votes in 15 minutes, which was awesome.
Wow.
And 86% yes, 14% no. That was your thing. So, officially, according to the fine folk here in the Evercast chat, Ryan, the answer is yes. I want to see new natives like Cathedral. Boom. That being said, I think that's it's probably gonna wrap us up for today, as we're coasting over the hour. Anyone got any final thoughts? Things they want to plug before we get out of here?
Sure. So next week, I'll have my wrap up of the C64. Kind of my first initial impressions on doing that. And hopefully Pete will have his rant video out on FPGA. I think it needs to happen.
No, probably not. I don't need that. I don't need those people coming to my channel.
Right.
I hear you.
I don't know those, but yeah. I got a bunch of stuff I'm working on for next week. So
excellent.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool stuff. And then Crow, what about you?
I need to get started on Galco Arcade 2.
Nice.
But I might do something with this before
that.
because I have no idea what's on this. I only bought it because it's a steelbook.
It's
a
good time. Just taking a quick second because I got a Switch copy of Atari 50 because I shed a tear when they said that the VCS copy was going to get delayed. Then
was it delayed?
Yes, the VCS launch is delayed until ? Could be another couple of days, could be a week, could be something. However, the first 24 hours for VCS owners are a little bit brighter as they will get a $10 discount in the first 24 hours when it hits the VCS store finally.
Actually, with this though, I bought it. What was funny was when somebody mentioned it, I was like, oh, there's a steelbook version. I couldn't buy it on Amazon, but I was like, I ordered it at Best Buy for pickup. And the day before this was released, November 10th, I got an email saying the order was canceled.
Really?
Because it was no longer available. I'm like, what? So I went to the website again. It's still available. I just ordered it. I just couldn't get it for pickup. So I ordered it for delivery. I got it the next day.
That's weird. That's very strange.
But it came with a code for Gravatar Recharged as well.
Oh, that's cool.
So I need to redeem that.
Yeah. Gravatar. That was the game. That was the game from I was trying to go over how many recharge games because there's going to be 8.
Oh yeah, we couldn't remember from cards.
There were 4 last year, and there were 3 so far this year, and I couldn't remember the first one that released. It was Gravatar. That's a great game though.
The first one that was released
in this set. They do like they're
in this set. Okay,
they didn't actually announce it, but they did in like this Discord chat thing. They're actually putting them out as series. There's Series 1 of Atari Recharge. There's Series 2 Atari Recharge, and they announced the fact it's actually going to be a Series 3. So there's going to be more Recharge games coming out in 23 from Atari, which is awesome. So
because they just re-released the new Missile Command, right? They finally fixed that one and put a new version of that one out, which was really cool.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, it's Gravatar, it's Yars Recharge. I guess technically Missile Command technically counts. But there's going to be another one that's going to come out in the next month.
Well, Missile Command does now count because they just released a new Missile Command Recharge.
Yeah. Well, no,
that's officially, right?
But that's right, because they didn't count the first one.
The first one was just mobile and crap, and then they redid it under the Recharge model, and now it's an actual full Recharge game.
That's right. Yeah, no, I have
2 separate titles.
So if you had already bought it, does it automatically get updated?
No, you got to buy a new one. It's a completely new, different game.
Okay,
yeah, but if you bought it,
they got the same name.
They do. Well, it's now Missile RE 2020.
Yeah,
or 2021.
But it's a new game.
Interesting.
First one, and
it has
Missile Command Recharge
all that
is
stuff.
the new.
Anyway,
title.
Will we see
also, if you bought if you bought the original one, it was only $3. But if you had bought that, when you go to the store on the VCS, it knows that you bought it already, so it lowers the price down $3. So
I'm wondering.
That's why I got it cheaper. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a chance we'll see more Atari. I mean, especially now that there's a Jaguar.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They should.
I'd love to see more Atari on the Evercade. I mean, and as far as that goes, whatchamacallit? Will we see anything like Atari 50? I mean, that'd be epic. I don't know though, because Atari 50 is just crazy in the amount of stuff that's in there.
Yeah, it's like 8 gig. Yeah, we won't see that, but
those videos and interviews and all that kind of stuff. The way that the menu is like it's basically like a museum, and like the curator kind of like pulls you along the timeline from the very beginning of Atari all the way through the 90s. It's awesome. It's really well done. Highly encourage it for people that are Atari fans.
I know Songbird they've got quite a few Jaguar games. I can see like an Atari Songbird Jaguar collection.
Yeah.
Atari likes putting all their games everywhere, so they like everything everywhere. So I would love to see the Recharge. I don't know if the Evercade can run the Recharge series though.
Yeah, that's a questionable. I think
because they're not available physically anywhere, right?
I would love for it to be able to, but I don't know.
Because they're not physically able, they're not available anywhere to buy physically. So wouldn't that be a cool thing if Evercade got them? Could find a way to make them run.
Maybe they come out with a new Evercade, like Evercade 2. Evercade 3.
Which we know is going to happen in 2024.
Yeah, that's
Port-
how we
they could
get
port
new
them.
hardware, guys.
If the developers thought there was worth the time and effort, they could maybe they have enough to port it over, work some magic.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I
for sure.
don't know if the VS could run it or not, but I mean, they're not like
Yeah.
graphic. There's a lot of graphics going on, but they're not like intensive graphics.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. I mean, but who knows? But the hardware is pretty much in parity between the VS and the EXP. So, if one can run it, maybe the other one would be able to
And they're
as
not
well.
big games size wise, so they'd fit on the cart.
Yeah, that's true. They're not.
you
I don't
go.
think there's one that's over like 600 meg. So
Is there
Well, the
Ryan,
thing
you're
is,
still in the
like
chat.
with the carts,
Could they run
you
it? Could it run
you
it?
you could probably get higher capacity carts. Very
is Ryan
easily.
here? We just asked Ryan. Ryan, can you run a recharge game on your on the VCS on the VS?
yeah, is it possible?
Is it possible?
Let's see if he's there.
Bueller?
So,
Because I'm not even sure
Really?
that all the carts are all the same capacity. I think some of them might be lower capacity, some of them might be higher capacity.
The
That's
curse
something
of
I haven't.
yeah. So, but as far as that's everybody else. As far as our stuff is concerned, for final thoughts and plugs and all that kind of stuff here. We're waiting to see if Ryan's still around. This question from Lloyd R. Jim is a perfect segue into that.
Oh yeah.
When is the purple VCS giveaway? I mean, the one that's over here. This guy talking about the Atari stuff right here. This guy right here that says "Walk Down Alzheimer's" on it. Yeah, it'll be next week, guys. That we're gonna do the giveaway, and the reason why is because I did have that whole crazy nonsense that I had to go through this week. So this coming week on Monday, finally, there will be the start of a series that will last from Monday through Friday. It is the Walk Down Alzheimer's 2022 Cross Fun for 5. So there'll be 4 Fun for 5s and in 1 Score Challenge episode that will be coming out next week. And all of the Fun for 5s, 2 of them will be directly related to Evercade. I'm going to do the 2 games of the month. I had pre-recorded Lunar Journey before I did the update, and then we're going to do some Yeah Beavis 2. And then 2 more will be directly related to the Atari VCS, where we're going to be doing Missile Command Recharged. And Yars. No, I did Yars. Atari Mania. I was going to do Atari Mania and Atari 50, but it doesn't look like Atari 50 on VCS is going to be out before I can record. So we're going to do Missile Command Recharged then. And then, of course, the Score Challenge episode, which will be a lot of fun and feature all sorts of crazy stuff and antics from my time at MetLife Stadium when we did the walk. So hopefully you guys will be looking forward to that. I've been like feverishly putting things in order on Premiere to make sure that that's all set. But there will be a video on Monday and will be a video on Tuesday for sure. And as long as all my luck continues, I will be able to finish those Atari VCS videos as well. So that's that. And then on Saturday, not this one, but Saturday the 19th of November will be the actual giveaway that we do it right here on the Evercast. So be here or not have a VCS. You have to be in this chat. You don't have to be a subscriber. You just have to be in the chat. Although it's kind of nice, if you hit the button.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm at 970. I'm just saying.
Help a guy out.
You 30 people. Find some people, hit the buttons.
Well, if you subscribe, you're gonna get a reminder then.
That's the other thing. That's the very important thing. If you are a subscriber, you will get a reminder about all the other videos that drop. So, you can celebrate all the way and keep reminding yourself that it will be a giveaway. So, awesome. That's pretty much that for today. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching and chilling with us. We talk about all sorts of fun Evercade goodness stuff. And until next time. We will catch everybody. You next time, guys. And see you later. Next week's gonna be a big week, so don't miss it. Right. See you guys.
Later.